Hillary Clinton run in 2024? It's a talk of the town, and we're going to answer that. We're going to look at the article that started all this speculation. We're going to see what Democrats themselves have to say about it. And stick me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal what all of this Hillary talk really says about the pathetic state of the Democratic Party. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you. As always, I'm your daily fake news antidote. As each and every day, I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent and woke and insane times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we begin, gang, as many of you know, we have recently launched a brand new initiative called Change America, which enables ordinary patrons to do extraordinary things. It's a program that makes it possible for anyone and everyone to help unseat rhinos just by simply doing their daily grocery shopping. You can back America First candidacies by simply going out to eat. What it is, it's a program that can round off your debit or credit card purchases to the nearest dollar and then use that change to support patriot causes all over the nation. So make sure to click on the link below to sign up or learn more about our Change America initiative, and let's make 2022 the most epic red wave we have ever seen. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. I'm sure you know there's been significant speculation as to whether Hillary's going to run again in 2024. The speculation was stirred by a recent article in the Wall Street Journal by Democrat advisors Doug Schoen and Andrew Stein. It was, to put it mildly, a rather bizarre piece. The two Democrats recognized that Biden was falling apart. That's true. That Harris imploded even before Biden. That's true. Quote, several circumstances, President Biden's low approval rating, doubts over his capacity to run for re-election to 82, Vice President Kamala Harris's unpopularity, and the absence of another strong Democrat to lead the ticket in 2024 have created a leadership vacuum in the Democrat Party. Well, that's for sure. I don't think anyone would argue with that. But then these strategists actually tried to make the argument that that leadership vacuum would be best filled by a brand new, young, exciting Democrat like, drumroll please, Hillary Clinton. I kid you not. To these Democrats, Hillary is best positioned to fill that leadership vacuum. She's experienced, haha. She's experienced, she's younger than Biden. Well, that's not hard. And now we have the chance to correct the mistake we made in 2016 and elect what the serial sexual harasser Bill Clinton called the most qualified person ever to run for president. As the Democratic Party becomes more and more radical, Hillary can swoop in and rescue the moderates and the centrists from falling for the siren call of Republicans like they did in Virginia when they elected Republican Glenn Youngkin. So according to Schoen and Stein, the future of the Democrat Party is none other than its past, Hillary Clinton. What do you say to this? Well, first and foremost, Doug Schoen has taken a complete 180 from the way he was talking just months ago, back before the 2020 election. Back then, there were also rumors about Hillary running, and Schoen said it bluntly. Bottom line, you can't win, Hillary. He said she can't win. Back then, he saw all the polls. And after examining the polls extensively, Schoen concluded that Hillary Clinton was totally and completely unelectable. And because she won't go away, because she keeps casting that totally unelectable shadow over the Democratic Party, she has become, in Doug Schoen's words, a political cancer on the Democrats. Now, gang, that was just literally months ago he was saying that. What caused him to change his tune? Are we suddenly seeing polling numbers going through the roof in support for Hillary? I'm not familiar with any of those polls. In fact, she appears as loathed and despised as ever, and that's coming from Democrats. Bill Maher famously told the Clintons to basically go away, leave. You've done your stint in politics, and now it's time for you just to go away. Stop showing up and inserting yourself into everything. Gang, these are Democrats saying this. Hillary is despised among Democrats, let alone independents and Republicans. And as if that weren't bad enough, you actually had a group of Democratic senators back in 2019 who came out and openly opposed Hillary Clinton candidacy. A number of Senate Democrats gave a public warning to Hillary Clinton not to get into the race. Remember, these were her colleagues. She was a senator. I mean, a completely irrelevant one, but a forgotten senator of absolutely no consequence whatsoever, representing a state that she wasn't even from, New York. That tells you about New Yorkers. So these are her once fellow colleagues who came out and said that her time has passed and her entering into the race would be a big mistake. So they promised her she would not win the nomination, and she'll only end up hurting and doing further political damage to the candidate who eventually got the nomination, which of course was Sleepy Joe. So seriously, what the heck is going on here? Why are Democratic political pundits dragging this woman's old bones out again for a possible presidential run? Well, the first and foremost obvious answer is that Biden really is falling apart. Now, did you see the latest poll from Quinnipiac that came out today? Biden's approval among Hispanics has collapsed to just 28%. His approval among whites is higher. It's in the 30s. Gang, this is crushing the Democrats. They've lost the Latino vote. The Latino vote is the most socially conservative vote in the nation, and they're defecting in droves to the conservative Republicans. Biden really is politically collapsing, and so is Kamala. We just did a video on the colossal disaster that is Kamala, who also only has a 28% approval rating, but that's a 28% across the board. She's even more unpopular than Biden is, which is pretty stunning. So I think that's the first thing. But the second thing here, this notion that Hillary is actually what Schoen called the change candidate. Can you believe that? That's what Schoen and Stein tried to argue, that after the midterms defeat later this year that's inevitably going to come, Hillary Clinton can position herself as a new kind of Democrat, like her husband did back in the freaking 1990s. This notion, gang, is frankly absurd. And it speaks volumes in terms of what establishment Democrats think of the possible replacements for Biden. Remember, CNN, of all places, CNN, the most distrusted name in fake news, is now openly talking about potential Democrat replacements for Joe Biden in 2024. They put out a list of 11 or so potential options for Biden in 2024. And interestingly, Hillary was not one of them. In fact, CNN has actually come out and said that Hillary is not going to run. This is all a bunch of, ironically, fake news. And they're not alone. Several other news outlets have dismissed the Wall Street Journal piece really as nothing more than ridiculous nonsense. Instead, CNN thinks it's most likely going to be Kamala in 2024, but other outlets are quickly recognizing that Kamala really is totally unelectable at this point. A dog catcher could win over Kamala. So the media is trying to open up the field to someone more like Pete Buttigieg or Cory Booker or Elizabeth Warren or Amy Klobuchar. Will Hillary run again? Frankly, gang, probably not. But all this Hillary banter is what it's saying when all's said and done is that the Democrats really are finished. Make no mistake, the call for Hillary Clinton to run again is an admission. It's an embarrassing admission, first and foremost, that Biden's presidency is a farce. Biden was never meant to do anything other than just help Democrats in the mainstream media with their coup to get rid of President Trump. Biden's presidency is a farce, and he's perhaps the last person on the planet who should be in the Oval Office right now. And it's an admission that the Democratic Party is toast. They've been depleted of any serious viable candidate, and they literally are nothing more than a shell of the old modernist globalist world order that is slowly but surely dying away. The Democrats have nothing. They literally have nothing to offer the nation politically. And so who better to represent that vacuousness than Hillary Clinton, the most vacuous, shallow, and hollow person imaginable. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on the ultra-left Joy Reid of MSNBC's finally getting canceled. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.